If I was to ask you people to raise hand among yourselves of only those who they think they are leaders, how many hands should be raised? I think that's really few, and that's my problem to you. That's my question to you. There are people in this hall, the organizing committee. This festival successfully concluded by working n number of days and nights, maybe at the back room, maybe going to people for sponsors, getting yes after 4 or 5 no's, those who are making cues of the light. They were not just managing. On the stage, the performer, just before his turn came up, was panicking and he was calmed down by someone. They were not listening to some instructions. What they were doing was the act of leadership. But then in this situation, why do you think your idea of leadership, you are looking up to somebody else? Before I say any further word, first of all, give applause to yourself for this successfully managing this event and bringing it to success. Now, what is this idea of leadership? When I was of your age, we were told in the college that leadership is about a position, a badge, a chamber where the nameplate is there, you have the authority, and ultimately you have to be anointed by somebody to lead the team, lead a particular office. You had to climb up the ladder, and only when the person who was there wished or wanted to vacate his seat or her seat and anoint somebody else, you could become a leader. That is the old idea of leadership. And that is being killed. That idea of leadership is being killed, and killed very successfully by no other than this generation, particularly Gen Z. And rightly so. Because the idea of leadership, of hierarchy, which existed, doesn't work now. If title is not leadership, if anointment is not leadership, what is that amounts to leadership? That is the question is grappling with new generations, is grappling with the society at large, with the communities, political parties, policymakers, public servants, all of us. The old idea of hierarchy and hierarchical leadership, authoritative leadership, needs to pave way for the new idea. And this new idea is not something which can be given to someone just because he or she belongs to a particular area, comes from a particular family background, or hails from a particular institution, or has some particular qualification, or holds on to some particular office. No, that's not the idea of leadership. The leadership is basically questioning the status quo, questioning what exists as of now, finding out the gap which exists in the system, and just not gap, work towards closing that gap without expecting that somebody else will come and tell you to do this job. It has to come from within, it has to be initiated. That's the idea of leadership you and I must imbibe to move forward and making this society a better place to live and lead a meaningful life. Else, we'll continue this old idea of hierarchy. What we'll achieve is a status quo or incremental growth. and the current generation doesn't believe in incremental growth. That's absolutely right. If we can achieve and leapfrog, why should we go for incremental growth? That is what leadership must look like, must be followed. With this generation, in last few days, few years, you have seen leaders come from different background. There are no offices, there are no stages. Somebody in the hostel is sitting in the room, making a WhatsApp group, and preparing a community for relief in disaster. Somebody just making Instagram post, hashtagging it, bringing all of you, all of us on a particular stage, on a particular issue, without really needing to organize in a different manner, but just at the click of the button. This is the leadership which society expects, but the only question rises to them: you are able to diagnose the issue. You are really good at diagnosing issue. You are deep, you are wide. Any information in the world, any analysis of the data, you can get in a click of 3 seconds on your mobile. The time has gone when we or anybody just to collect information had to put in its days and days out. What you call to burn candle. That was needed to research, find out a teacher, find out author, find out the books, go to library, get the information, read it, then do something. It requires humongous efforts to just to collect information. Once that information is collected, then process it, analyze it, and if at all somebody wanted to make a knowledge out of it, take a knowledge out of it, take a leaf out of it, he or she will do it, and they will move further. All of this is available in your pocket today, at the click of the button, at the scroll of your finger, either on Instagram or Twitter or ChatGPT or whatever you name it, AI, all this is available in your pocket. So you are carrying the information overload in the word in your pocket. There is no pursuit of it. The issue is, because in this algorithm what is written, you know it very well, better than me. Whatever you are amplifying, you are not processing. It is coming to you because algorithm is meant and designed to send you those reels, those information, those memes, those actions which you like. That's why rumors spread faster than the truth. Here is the issue. And the issue is, you have to learn, and somebody has to teach it. It can be anybody. Your friend, your teacher, your family members, or a friend on net, whatever you name it, can be somebody. What is the truth in that? That you need to find out. Pause for a second. Give a thought. Whatever is coming to me, is it correct? Is it right? Should I cross-verify with something? And if I forward it, what are its implications? What are its impact on me, community, society, world at large? That pause is very important. Algorithm is telling you to move forward quickly without giving a thought to what is up to you. Leadership here is to pause for a moment, maybe second, 5, 4, 5, 10 seconds. Think it over. Whatever is being done, whatever you are going to forward, is it truth? Or is it only reimposing what you believe is the truth? Unless you are able to identify it, I think there will be issues, and there are issues. Your generation is very good at diagnosing problem because information overload is there. You get information, plethora of information, you process it at the click of the button. Multitasking, you are really good at. On the one hand, you will click your Insta, on the other hand, some project is going on, computer you are doing something else, you are talking something else, multitasking has become a habit of you. Absolutely wonderful. But in this situation, are you pausing for a second? Whatever you are doing, you are taking a right stance. Are you moving in the right direction? That is where the question is to us. So diagnosis is good. All of you are doing diagnosis. But only few of you who are leaders will lead to the solution. That's where the leadership is, and that's what leadership is all about. Finding a gap is easy. Many of you may say that this college has so many problems. This city has many problems. Country is not developing the way it is. Absolutely fine. Whether it's education, health, society, garbage, you name it, you have it. The question is, if you stop at this, you are not a leader, you are a manager. And the ones who think about it, find a solution, work on it without camera, without identifying anybody, without being told by anybody, working on the solution. Finally finds a solution, gives the solution, and ultimately the problem is solved. Those are the leaders, and that's the leadership quality. Are you willing to do that? Or are you just stopping at a diagnosis of a problem? That is the question you need to ask. Now, you are at this stage where you need to fly, and you will fly. The question is, will you fly in the right direction? And the right direction is not necessary and the only economic growth and development. What is needed is a character building. That character will hang on to a position, a stance, which may not be liked by many. You may not get likes, but it needs to be taken if it is a right stand. That is where you need to work upon. So you should not be led by algorithm. You should lead the algorithm. You should not be used by mobile and gadgets. You should use it. And if you do not take a stance, will remain as it is. So it is a leaderless society, leaderless college, leaderless family, leaderless community. And chaos will take place. This chaos is good. The societal chaos is not good. This is colorful. But only noise will not. Sane voice will work in the leadership. So you and I need to work in that direction. When everybody flow is going in one direction, and you think that it is wrong, you should have courage and conviction to walk the right path, not necessarily the path which is taken by everybody. Unless you have that courage, and that courage will come from right sort of thinking, moral authority, and uprightness. That is where leadership stands. In my career of 21 years as a public servant, I always believed if I see a gap, I'll work upon it without expecting and somebody will tell me, somebody will support me, or if I do this, whether I'll get benefit or not. If you are looking at that point in time, you are working as a person. You are not leading, you are led, you are managing the things. For your generation, particularly Gen Z, it is necessary that whether you want to lead or you want to be led, that is the question. Wherever you find a gap, start working on it. Fill up the gap. Just don't own the problem, own the outcome. And the person who owns the outcome takes the ownership, and those who take the ownership can be only leader, nobody else is a leader. So my final question to you is, are you ready to take the ownership of this new society? Are you? What type of ownership you are taking? Not to just diagnose, but to move forward by working upon it. If you are taking ownership, I think India's future lies in a good hand. If you are not going to take ownership, I think we are not moving ahead. That's the message, that's the leadership. I expect all of you to be leaders in your own field. All the best. Thank you.
Well, this has been the most awaited session of Malhar. Sir, you can see the crowd is full. They're in the galleries. They're all here to see you. And the lessons that you've spoken about leadership today are going to stay with all of us. And I'm sure so many of us are waiting to ask you questions. So before we move to the audience questions, we wanted to do a short moderated session to get to know you beyond the badge and to get to know you beyond the IS tag. Stories from your life that can stay with us.
What do you expect me to speak on that?
Sir, so we want to start 20 years back when you were giving the civil services exam. What was your motivation to give the civil services exam? Because there are students in the audience who want to be like you one day, who want to lead. What was that motivation that really led you to give the exam and get an All India rank of 20?
I believe that at that point in time, as a youngster, I was just expecting to get a job. I was not expecting much more than that. But that was the beginning. But once I entered, then we kept on moving. I kept on moving. And I decided that if I am a public servant, what should I be doing as a public servant? Getting a position, getting a car, as I spoke, designation, it was all there. So when I am a public servant, I owe fully my responsibility and accountability to the public at large. So am I making in every day, every decision I make, whether on the file, in the field, at execution level, is it affecting people positively? Is it making changes in their lives for betterment? Not everybody, not in a wrong way, only for the right purpose and the right reason. So, if you want to be a public servant, you want to be a civil servant, and if you are really committed for contributing for the betterment of society, then enter. Otherwise, you have other fields to work in. Corporate sector is there, finance sector is there, you have politics, you have teaching field, every field is there. But entering civil services is just not a job, it is a role. And you must identify the role of a civil servant or a public servant. And the role is making this place a better society, better community, better world to live meaningful life. If I am, say, for example, I am today working as a commissioner of FDA, am I making lives of the people better by making food, drugs better? If I am able to do that, then only I have served my purpose, I have performed my role. So those who want to enter the civil services or public service, if they are absolutely committed and 100% sure that I want to uplift the community at large, I have it in me, which takes courage, commitment, and integrity to lift up the society, then they should go for it. Else, they can go in other field. That is the motivation they should look at.
Hello. And this is, well, 20 years back when you had given the exam. And so much has changed even now. You've taken the charge of the commissioner of the FDA, as we all know. A lot of us know from Instagram. So much of us know from the FDA raids that you've done. And while this has come with praise, it's also been followed with so much criticism, right? So how do you not let that noise get to you when people are perpetual critiques, or where there are restaurants that are probably not happy with your decision?
See, there's a difference between management and leadership. And almost everybody manages the things. At home, at working places, at community level. These restaurants, hotels, industry, they have to abide by the standards and rules which are there in place. Consumer, whether as a regulator, whether as a FBO. So it's just not, we should not go with the flow. The flow may be there. There will be pulls and pressures. And if you are actually succumbing to the pulls and pressures, then you are not a leader. Then you are again going about a manager. So things will be managed the way it was earlier or mundane manner. So if you want to transform something, that is the gap. As I just spoke, there's a gap. Take that ownership. I'm trying to take that ownership, fill the gap and move ahead. If you are able to do that, I think you will be successful. I think for a healthy nation, healthy people are important. For healthy people, healthy food and medicine is important. And for healthy food and medicine, a regulator, FBOs need to work in that goal. That's the goal we have set and we are working on that.
I think what we can really take away from this session is to identify a gap, to take ownership and work on it. And sir, the words that you've spoken today are truly going to stay with all of us. Before we open the floor for audience questions, what would be your final message to this generation, to Gen Z, who want to serve the nation and who want to contribute in the best way possible, probably at this age?
I think, as I said, they are really good at diagnosis. Now, all of us know the issues and the problems. And you have this new technology. Can we make use of this technology for making lives better? Just think in a simple way. Every day, every moment, at least a particular day, if you are taking today, as a person, I have to ask myself a question. Have I made any person happy, better, satisfying today? If the answer to this question is yes, I think you are moving in the right direction. If the answer to this question is no, then I think you are stagnant. And that is, you may make yourself happy, but you can't be happy if the surroundings are not happy. Because we, as humans, are a social animal and we live in society. So society needs to be happy for that. So for this generation, my message is very, very clear. The flow is there. The rivers are flowing, thoughts are flowing. In the digital age, you are supposed to move very, very fast. You don't have a second for pausing because there is a huge competition and there is a concept called FOMO, missing out something, fear of missing out something. So don't go for this FOMO. Pause for a second and think it. Am I moving in the right direction? Whether it's your thought, whether it's your exam, whether it's taking care of your people, and whether you are talking about larger issues, common issues, global issues, whether it's a climate change or gender issues or your mental health issues, LGBTQ issue, check on it. And then you extend that step one by one at one go and create a society where everybody matters, not just you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was truly an honor and privilege to talk to you. We can take some audience questions right now. Can we please pass the mic?
Hello.
Hello. So students who are especially in their early 20s, and even though when they are very certain about the path of civil services, they face some kind of opportunity cost which comes due to the uncertainties that this exam brings. So how do we deal with that opportunity cost?
What is the question? I did not get. Civil service exam, what?
Yes.
What is the question?
Sometimes they are dealt with certain different opportunities. So how can they?
So before starting to take exam, ask yourself a question. Whoever is wanting to enter the civil services, ask yourself a question. Why do you want to join civil services? Not how. How will come later. First ask why. Why do you want to do that? And if the answer to that is, I just want a job, I think that may not be the best job for you. Right? So if your answer is, yes, I am suitable for this public position, civil servant, and I'm ready to take a responsibility for the society as a whole, then you start working on it. Once you decide to enter and take the examination, the preparation should not start with collecting information. Most of us make a mistake of gathering many books, reading more information, and mugging up information. So that is one of the biggest mistakes we commit while preparing for the examination. In the civil services examination, your knowledge is just one part of it. Information knowledge, one part, almost not more than 30%. What is checked in the civil services examination is your suitability by analytical way, whether in written examination or interview. So what you need to look at is, look at the question papers, study the question paper, just don't read it. Study the question papers. Once you study the question paper, then go for syllabus and study the syllabus. Once you do that, then think that what are the patterns in the questions papers, what is the pattern of the syllabus, what type of questions are asked, and accordingly plan out how to study it. Rather than just collecting information, writing notes, getting notes, it will not help. If that was the case, everybody who had joined some classes, had got some notes, read many books, would have been successful here. But that is not the case. The people who are very well thought of, who give a lot of thought to answers, and who are analytical, they succeed here. So your aptitude is tested, your analytical skills are tested, your way of presenting yourself and writing in examination is tested, and you approach the problem. That is tested in written examination also and in interview also. I'll just give one example. History is there for general studies also. All of us might have read about 1857 revolt, 1757, 1947, all these Mahatma Gandhi would have read. And you will find on Mahatma Gandhi, there can be a question for 2 marks, 20 words. There will be a question for 10 marks, 200 marks. There will be a question for 600 marks, 600 words, 60 marks, or there can be essay, 200 marks, say 2000 words. Now all of this, you are writing about Mahatma Gandhi only. But the answer is totally different. Now if you are able to write Mahatma Gandhi in 20 words, I think you will be successful. So most of us, what we are taught in the schools, Mahatma Gandhi, father of the nation, was born this, non-cooperative movement, blah, blah, blah. You will not get more than half a mark out of 2 if you write this. What you are expected to write in 20 words is actually his contribution, total contribution in the society as a leader within 20 words. That is the capacity you have to develop. And if it is essay, then you have to be able to write in 2000 words what Mahatma Gandhi contributed. The question is not what was Mahatma Gandhi, how was he, no. It is about his contribution. So this is the level of preparation, this is the way you have to prepare. And this will help you take decisions when you are a public servant. That's why this exam is the toughest one of the toughest in the world. Maybe it is regarded as the second toughest. Comparisons are there, some can say it is toughest, some say some second toughest exam. It is not because it takes your knowledge at that level. Once you clear prelims, you are eligible for that. You are up to it. Suitability is tested so that you are able to take a decision in quick second in a given situation, even if you do not have resources. That's the level you are prepared. And I think those who have aptitude about this and who want to work in this manner should go for this examination. Otherwise, you can choose other careers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. So, sir, it's so nice to have you here at the 80th Independence Day, because it is thanks to people like you that the integrity of our institutions are improving. So, sir, my question to you is very personal. we've all seen you set a standard for restaurants to operate in. What is one restaurant that you personally really like and that also passes your standard of operation?
I'll not certify any restaurant per se either way. But rather than passing for you, I'll definitely tell, avoid this Burger King, I mean, not a particular name, but all this junky food, fatty, salty, this product you must avoid. And you must take up those non-HFSS items. So it is not, FDA does not certify. You have to understand the role of FDA. FDA does not certify any restaurants. What FDA does is licenses and checks whether those eateries, hotels, restaurants, food business operators are actually abiding by the regulations which they are supposed to implement, food they are supposed to make are as per the standards and safety norms. So we don't give rating. Rating is voluntary as of now. Over a period of time, it will become compulsory. At that point in time, it will be there. But that rating is also valid for a particular period and particular testing. If I go check it today, it may be, say, 5 on 5. Maybe I go tomorrow and it has slid down. So what you need to be there, whenever you go a particular restaurant or eatery, you need to look into whether you are having proper food, proper in the sense standard food and safe food or not. You must be inquisitive about it, like what is it made up of, if it is a packaged food, what are the ingredients in it, what is the type of oil they are using, whether their kitchen is proper or not. These things, if you are inquisitive, I think you will get the right food. And by right food, I mean standard and safe food. Because we are habituated for quick things. So if you are saying, I want in 2 minutes, so you are not going to get 2 minutes of safe food. So go for safe food, go for standard food. Don't go for either certified or non-certified. There is no FDA certified or non-certified. It is either licensed or unlicensed. But for your health, you need to eat good food, natural foods, whether it's a fruit, vegetable, homemade, non-fried items are better off. If you are going for junky food, those should be prohibited. That's where many non-communicable diseases have come up. So my urge and request to you and suggestion to you is to be very cautious while eating whatever you are eating, either at home or outside.
Thank you, sir.
I think that's all with the questions. Yes, we can take.
Yes, yourself.
Namaskar, sir. I'm very glad that we are here in your presence. I wanted to ask you a question in terms of your career of 20 years. What is that one feedback or one comment that a common person has given to you that is something that you will always remember?
I mean, there is a huge, I can say that I'll remember the feedback of people. When I was in Solapur, I got letters, hundreds of letters about management of Pandharpur Wari. They said that every year we used to come here to see the Vaikunt, but amala narak betot hota. But this year we could see really there is a cleanliness and we are happy about it. I was in health commissioner, so many people thought that I have done wonderful work, so we have got medicines, doctor are there available. When I was in Nagpur during COVID, people thought that, yes, I was responsible for saving many lives. So there are a number of experiences. The common people really appreciate even smallest of the thing, which is actually my job. Normal work I'm not doing something great, but people appreciate it. And there are other feedbacks also, which is not so good. So it's always a mix. Being a public servant, you have to be able to take both in the stride and move ahead.